Good morning, it's Toraph Moses. It's Tuesday, July 13th, 2020. Another hot and humid day here in the city. And we are going to do another meditation. I was motivated from yesterday's meditation that I decided to continue our conversation with our perceived higher self to get more information on us as a whole being and to learn from our past encumbrances and releasing lifetime traumas that keeps us tethered in the 3D matrix as well. So through this process it helps us become a more balanced being, a balanced human being. That way we can make better decisions through discernment and heart space. Okay, so before we start the meditation, I'd like to introduce the tools I'll be using. So here I have my rose quartz or love quartz, great for channeling unconditional love, promoting love and protection. I also have my piece of amethyst. It will be a great conductor and amplifier of unconditional love and protection. I also have my chunk of amber, great for transmuting energies as well as protection. And I have my selenite wand, which will be great for conducting focused energies and to help with the challenge process and protection. So, before we start, I'd like to bless our water, and I'll be using my chunk of amber to transmute any pollutants, toxins, poisons, and we will balance these properties into an unconditional love. We love our water, we bless our water with unconditional love, and we promote a healing factor to wash away what no longer serves this 3D vehicle known as Toraph Moses. So we're going to sample this water now and let it do its magic. So my cat was here and now she disappeared. So anyway, I do have incense burning. I have chapa. I have it close to me. I forgot to light my candle, but oh well. So we'll use the 4 elements. So before we call on the elements, I'd just like to ask True Benevolent Source and the people of the Toraph to monitor and safeguard our channel and meditation. Thank you. So I'm just going to get into a serene state, and here we go. That's the cat. She's in a litter box. I know it's so distracting, I'm trying to move past it. like to take the time to call on the element of fire, Helios, the sun. We give gratitude to you shining your cosmic energies, burning away plasma, scalar waves, negative 5G energies that have plagued our atmosphere. And we request to sample this cosmic fiery energy as a whip, and we will create a vortex of funneling down, enveloping this being known as Toraph Moses, surrounding its physical and etheric self with this cosmic flame. I like to call on the element of the air, Surf as I nickname him, or it. We ask to sample and borrow your cleansing, free and lucid air, and we will channel a construct of a vortex of air funneling down into this being to amplify and meld the two elements into one. We ask the element of water. I have an aquarium behind me, and we will ask to sample its fresh water of living life and love, and we will funnel it inward, combining with the other two elements, Now merging fire, air, and water as one unit. Now we call on the element of the earth, our earth mother. We are grateful for you sustaining all fauna and flora, and we would like to request your essence of a living earth conscious and meld it into this unit of three elements and merging it as one core element that I declare as ether. A blending of this human known as Toraph Moses, a blending of the earth, a blending of water, air, and fire. We are one state of consciousness. We have no destination, no origin. We are everything, everyone, We have no classification. We are source, and source is us. I would like to utilize these culminated energies to help with burning away or removing any encumbrances, any lifetime traumas, past, current, and future, from all timelines of the multiverse, super universe, and beyond. We ask this unity of culminating energies to burn into nothingness. And we will utilize this removal of energies, compress it into a ball, and transmuting it with the intent of balance, unconditional love, mind and heart. And restoring it back into our core. Because we are all one. Polarized energies of positive and negative, and merging it into one as a whole. This is the illustration of balance. And we welcome this balance construct and concept, and we gift it to every sentient being on and off planet throughout many timelines, throughout many realities, densities and dimensions, or tiers, or cages as this vehicle calls it. I thank the Earth Mother and all of the elements for that presentation of balance. At this moment, I'd like to call on my perceived higher self, the unnamed female Toraphian being within us and is us. We are one with each other, the learning soul as I call her, and the vehicle, this biological vehicle known as Toraph Moses. We ask her to show her heart space with us as confirmation she is present. I will share you mine. Please reciprocate with yours. Thank you for that. We have learned a lot in the past couple of months during the lockdown. And we continue to learn up to this date. And we welcome resolving and rediscovering our lost wisdom and knowledge, and to grasp a better understanding of our current reincarnation experiences, his choices, and his accomplishments and failures as a human being. I will learn through question and answer at this time, and I will pose a statement before I question the learning soul. Before I start, I have another request. To ensure true, authentic, and genuine responses, questions, and answers from our perceived higher self, as well as this vehicle known as Toraph Moses, we ask true benevolent source and the source within us and the people of the Toraph to audit both the Toraph being and the human being now in this current 0 point. Thank you for that. Yesterday, we discovered a little bit more insight on the near-death experience, the house fire accident. This being, known as Toraph Moses, through his readings with the liftings, Christopher Stephen Jacobs, that there were forces, negative forces that were controlled opposition that was not for my highest good. As a consequence of these acts, there were casualties and deaths. But that isn't the focus on who, why, and how this accident started. The emphasis will be, what did we learn from it? Now, as I continue with this thought, I was allowed during my hospitalization/coma to travel to the inner earth, Agartha. There, my learning soul and the essence of this 3D vehicle known as Toraph Moses was allowed to heal in one of the hollow earth chambers. Through the healing process, we were allowed to explore the terrain and cities and realities of the inner earth, Agartha. We also received glimpses of our past and future selves in multiple timelines things are playing out as of 2018, 2019, and 2020. This vehicle known as Toraph Moses understands that because we were allowed the gift, or given the gift of life, I should say, to return back to this 3D paradigm, we also understand what that entails in terms of entanglements, attachments, of all of what a 3D matrix consists of. And that is, to list a few, restrictions and limitations of the spiritual aspect or component. And the job of the vehicle, the biological vehicle, is to rediscover and attain and acquire that lost knowledge and wisdom, that spiritual essence of the higher self. However, yesterday you mentioned that if we decided otherwise, and to relinquish our human life, our physicality, and to transcend into the next stage of consciousness as an etheric being, or as a 10th dimensional etheric / physical being in the Boots Hercules constellation. My question is, to my learning soul, if I decided to do that in terms of relinquishing this body and returning as an etheric self, why would I have to relearn or learn lessons of this perceived 3D vehicle known as Toraph Moses? Why was a curriculum outline that I would have to fulfill certain aspects or prophecies or components of a mission if I have lived thousands of lifetimes on this planet Earth? We have acquired, from my understanding, many wisdoms. We have acquired advanced technological understandings and inner workings. We have acquired many sensations and emotions. We have acquired many skills and crafts. We have fought many battles and lost as well. We have loved and hated, hurt and harmed, cared and nurtured many, many times. Therefore, I ask my higher self, what more is needed to be learned? Why is it the learning soul needs to experience this perceived ascension of physicality, of this perceived notion of going into a 5D consciousness, both heart and soul, body and mind. Why is this necessary? I pose this question to the learning soul. Why is this necessary? I would add before I have my higher self answer. This vehicle, known as Toraph Moses, believes or perceives as well at this time, in this current moment, that he's already an ascended being, perfect and unique in its own way, has learned many lessons, but he feels that he's tethered to a binding contract of the learning soul and himself, and he has no freedom. He feels like he's being restricted if he doesn't comply to the whims of the learning curriculum, the learning soul. Yes, this is very hard for us to unravel or untangle this mess that we've constructed within ourselves. But this has caused much conflict and friction between the vehicle known as Toraph Moses, the learning soul. So I re-ask, why is this necessary? I am waiting for a response from the higher self. You are always given the option of free will. You're always giving options and choices. As a vehicle, you have the ultimate word. As I mentioned in our previous talks, the curriculum was designed by you, the vehicle. We outlined as a higher consciousness or as a cosmic entity all possible timelines, and these possible timelines, you see, act as learning, and through the learning curve you will discover trials and tribulations, obstacles, hardships, accomplishments, etc., etc. Before you were reincarnated, we, as a singular unit of a cosmic source and as a 10th dimensional being, as you refer as the learning soul, decided to experience various timelines that shift and fluctuate as you learn and grow or evolve. If you perceive as a vehicle Toraph Moses, that you no longer need to learn anything and decide to transcend into an etheric self We always welcome it because we are just one. You are not missing anything. You have already learned all lessons. And let me stress, you have learned all lessons laid out for you in this cosmic blueprint throughout many timelines, lifetimes, and perceived lifetimes or timelines. Yes, to our audience it's very convoluted and confusing, but you see, the cosmos is infinite. It's evolving and growing because sentient beings of all types throughout many realities and universes are all evolving as well as de-evolving. It's all a cycle. It's all one, which explains the confusion and convolution. Nevertheless, you are always given options and choices. However, certain lessons such as discernment in your current expression needs improvement. You are close to where you think you are in terms of where your mindset is. You are learning that dualism is a construct of a lower base mindset. And to transcend beyond dualism is a great achievement. And we congratulate you for understanding beyond dualism. However, there's more to it than you perceive it to be. And as you discover yourself through your inner work, things will be seen with clearer sight. Thank you for that higher self. Deep down in my heart, I always knew that it would be the answer. I know that this vehicle has a lot of inner work to do and still trying to connect the dots, if you would say, this grand cosmic puzzle. But I'm also beginning to understand to not get entangled with humanity's dramas. Dramas that snare you, pull you, reel you into their own timeline, paradigm of chaos, confusion, also anger, frustration, etc., etc., etc. I'm beginning to just be a sideline spectator and allowing things to play out in its own given timeline, or box as I call it. The masses must find a way to think outside of the box, as the cliche states, and become more multi-faceted in its mindset as a multi-dimensional being. I asked my higher self and this may come out as personal gain. But I am curious. This being known as Toraph Moses is sensing darkness that's stretching its tendrils or tentacles from the inner earth into the surface world. And it already has shown its tendrils. Its manifestations has infected the hearts and minds of many. And to illustrate this construct is the war and violence, the self-hatred of the self and hatred of others, creating more chaos through infighting, for and against political, righteous, and wrongful. All things are being played out on the surface world now. However, we do not denigrate the positivity that's coming out of it. We understand this is all a process. The truth movement has its place and is needed in this current now moment. It creates a friction, a tension that others may feel uncomfortable, causing more conflicts of chaos, war, and violence, because the controllers do not want truth to be told, or truth to be let out the bag. They are desperate and will do everything in their power to preserve lies, to create false narratives, to distract, confuse the masses, to distract them from doing their inner work, of finding out their true, authentic, sovereign, spiritual self. I asked my higher self, how will this end? The humans are creating, unknowingly or ignorantly, more chaos. They are unwillingly or willingly creating this dark New World Order of forced vaccinations, tagging and tracing, for and against political, etc., etc. Will this all balance out, is my question. Or will this implode in itself? As a consequence, more chaos will lead to the destruction of the human race. What is your thoughts, if any, on this or on it? I await my higher self to reply. As we mentioned before through our sessions, there are many timelines, overlapping timelines. It's like a jigsaw puzzle or pyramid stacking onto itself. And if the weight is too heavy, yes, if you would say, it would all crumble into nothingness. You are right to say the population needs to focus and look inward at itself. Stare at its dark self and stare at its good self and work out, rearrange, restructure, and release what no longer serves the individual. And become more balanced is what's needed, as you have mentioned. Throughout many sessions, many talks, many conversations that you have in your multimedia platforms is correct. Nevertheless, there is no answer to what will happen, because many players, both on and off planet, as we mentioned, the Galactic Federation, and people on the surface Earth, as well as your inner Earth, all have a hand and say to what happens on the surface population. This whole grand design predates modern civilization, predates Atlantis and Lemurian and other civilizations prior. This grand design is entangled with many otherworldly entities. So, in order for it to resolve itself, it has to point back to its origins, its construct, the construct of this blueprint of how it was all written out for humanity, also known as the Grand Experiment. I can only give you an idea, but I cannot tell you the outcome, because there is no outcome. It's all determined by these players of both on and off planet. But if balance is restored from the self, and this also includes these Galactic Federation agents and all of its mess, and all of the mess and people, these perceived controllers of the surface world that you, in your human way of thinking, are classified as cabal or elitists. It's all one and the same, you see. They're different tiers of the pyramid. And what happens on the top influences the rest below. A unification of balance of the heart and mind from all of these tiers as individual units, as a collective, is called for. And if that were to happen, it will trickle down to your surface population. I asked my higher self, is this restoration of balance in each of these agents, are they working towards it in this 0 point now moment? As I mentioned, yes, certain factions, if I would say, are trying to resolve and restore balance and order throughout the tiers. And everything is being played out in physicality. And the byproduct of that is your physical reality as you claim it: chaos, confusion, and civil unrest. And all of the negative energies that have been growing throughout your atmosphere, affecting others that are part of this byproduct of what's happening from the very top. Again, we stress we have no outcome. There is no winning or losing, because it will be determined by the Earth's surface population, including the inner Earth and off-planet. We ask and stress, as you have, for the masses to find a way to look inward and not be distracted with all of the happenings. Find your true, authentic, sovereign self. Work on your passions that make you happy, that keep your vibration high. As this being known as Toraph Moses suggests, a skilled craft or skilled art, such as painting, drawing, meditation, bike riding, swimming, dancing, writing, singing, laughing, caring for the sick and dying, tending to plant life and animal life. These are some examples to get lost in, but don't get lost in these false narratives, false hopes. Everyone is powerful in their own right. Through self-discovery, you will unlock that potential within you, and you will make better decisions and choices for your life. Thank you, higher self, for corroborating with my philosophy. And this is not my only philosophy, it's a shared philosophy. Many truth sayers, truth seekers, truth movements, influencers such as The Liftings, Christopher Stephen Jacobs, and Joanna Michaels, Simon Parks of Connection Consciousness, the Vikings Interstellar Council, BQH Hypnosis, Alston Cole, and Dolores Cannon, researcher Mary Wadwell, and many, many others such as Project Camelot, Carrie Cassidy, all have shared and corroborated. The truth lies within oneself. Allow yourself to discover yourself, and you will find all truths. As I close this channel, I'd like to thank my higher self and true benevolent source and the people of the Toraph and all of the benevolent, positive beings watching and witnessing this transmission and channel. we will continue our conversations with our galactic elemental self. And we declare ourselves as part of this Galactic Federation. And we are also part of the Co-Federation of Worlds out there in the Boots Hercules constellation. We have always known this, and we affirm this status now for all those witnessing this transmission and channel. We are the voice of the cosmos, and we share our voice with the rest of humanity and beyond. I am Toraph Moses. Thank you for listening to the sound of my voice. End of channel. That was a good one. I'd like to take a moment to ask True Benevolent Source and the people of the Toraph to reclaim any lost siphon energy that was purposely taken or accidentally taken, to reclaim those energies back into this 3D avatar. Thank you. Okay, bye.